All right, so portfolio we have next is Nicolas. Oh man, I got a clip from that one, huh? Nice, dude. Okay, so Nicholas, focusing on getting an internship, want to know how to improve my chances. Okay, so I think let's see. Let's absorb all of this stuff right now. So we've got environment art student looking for an internship, Sweden. Okay, good. Sweden's like, in my opinion, is in this weird, like crazy golden age thing going on right now. The industry is blowing up over here. There's studios popping up everywhere, and the indie scene is huge. Okay, so environment art student. You've got props. Just judging by the thumbnails, you got props, a scene, and another scene. We don't know if these scenes are related to these props. We will soon find out. And then we know that these are an Unreal because of the little logo there. Which I would argue you probably don't need. You probably don't need that. We're going to go into Photoshop here. And I'm just going to screenshot your portfolio for a minute here. Let's grab this. We'll bring this in here. And we'll just we'll make a layer for we'll paint it white, and then we'll actually, sorry. We're going to group this. I'm going to control click that and then make a mask. Okay. So now we got a layer that we can paint inside of, and it will simulate your thumbnail. So let's check out this dagger. So the dagger, this is 8 months old. Material wise, it's pretty interesting. Execution looks pretty good. I'm not too interested in the real-time viewer. But this type of information, these little like scratch marks and whatnot, this looks pretty cool. The glow effect, I would agree with chat, is a little weird, and I think it's because you're trying to separate it from this dark background. If that's the case, dude, my nose, I'm sorry. If that's the case, you just need to put some other information back there. Even if it's like I'm not sure what you're rendering this in. Marmoset, it looks like. Maybe it's Substance Painter for this view. Just take the HDR image that's in the background and just blur it, and then you can lower the brightness of it, and you can get a nice like breakup behind it. Now, the only other thing I would say about stuff like this is the tangents. When you get real close to the edge like this, it really like messes with the thumbnail. You can see how like framing wise it's real close to those edges, and it cuts the square in half, right? I would actually suggest copying this image. We're going to just turn this on, and in this folder, we're going to paste. Oh yeah, see this? So even doing something like that, much more, it captures much better, I think. You could do a tilt like that, which is much more dynamic as in the way that it's cutting the thumbnail. And then the glow doesn't really feel like a glow. It feels more like a backdrop, right? And then if you wanted to keep the whole thing in the shot, you could do it like this. I would still get rid of the glow, but cutting it is going to be better this direction, and making sure the glow is out, and you're good. But I find like something like this really intriguing. Maybe even like that is okay. You just want that tilt. And now the focus is on this spot right here, right? Dude. Hey, I gotta mute. Yeah, you want to be careful about tangents going into corners also. So it's important to frame it in a way where it doesn't really cut like in cuts into these corners or like gets real close to the edge. So there's that example. And I guess we could, if we grab this, put this to the side, you can see how much more dynamic that is. Like this is probably going to get more clicks than this if you're looking for that. I think I'm getting sick, man. I think that's what's going on. Let's have some coffee. That'll fix it, right? I didn't actually sneeze. I was just like sniffing a lot. It's terrible. I'm sorry. It's so gross. Anywho, so let's look at the next. You're going to see me doing this a lot. I apologize. Let's go and look at the next one. So this scene looks pretty interesting. It's I like the direction for how you're taking the lighting. It doesn't feel like the lighting outside is really affecting anything in here. And I think if the lighting was affecting anything in here, it would be really beneficial just because it would add a little bit more color variety in the scene, right? It's very single colored and the windows are helping, but I guess I wish that that light was kind of casting onto the side over here a little bit more. You do have a little bit of a story here, which is cool. And while the floor is quite clean, I think that's okay. It's just about making sure that you get some maybe a version of this floor that's dustier and lighter, and then getting that into the kind of corners so you can kind of show the dust that kind of builds up on the side. Just take this in. This floor is also very like these wood slats are really long. So you're gonna want to break those somewhere, and if you're gonna break it, right, you're gonna cut down the center. It's gonna look weird if it's just one. So you're probably gonna need to do it 3 times. So you have 3 like separate sections. Exorcism. Oh my god. So these little shiny particles in the air, that's just a particle emitter. And then you have like a single point floating around. Like that. Maybe you whoa. Wait, what? Oh, you're killing me, Smalls. What? It's hurting my brain. Okay. Never mind. Anyways, the range on that thing that I painted down was not the same as this. It's more of a single point. So yeah, definitely breaking the ground up. Maybe adding some more chairs, more tables up here. It's very empty. Photoshop CC's fine, man. I'm just not in it right now. Oh, sorry. So yeah, this looks like it's getting ready to be propped. This one looks a little bit better. This shot is the strongest and just maybe needs some more barrels over here or just some more things happening to kind of fill the space. Shot wise, I would say this is pretty intriguing. When you look at it in this thumbnail though, it comes out very flat and it might be the contrast next to your other thumbnails. Let me see. I'll just delete that one. We'll dupe this, bring it up here. And we'll move, nope. It's like, come on. We'll move that here. We'll just do it like that. Oh no, man. If this gets worse, I might have to cut the stream. So focusing on that story might be interesting. Let me search around here in the frame. If you notice it's snapping to a lot of stuff, just hold down Control. It'll smooth that out for you. You want to be careful of this tangent line too when you're framing this up. Man, this is a tough one. That's right, I tilted it. Let's see here. I mean, even this is pretty intriguing. So you're making the focus about that barrel. But you see the contrast now kind of matches more with the range of this one. That's really important. And it's getting closer to what you're seeing here. So I've already kind of said my piece with this one, and like just needs more propping, more detailing. Stuff some tissues up these nostrils. But yeah, so let's look at this one. So this looks awesome. And the way you've presented it, it's great. This is good. These look great. That looks great. Yeah, this is well executed. And I appreciate all these breakdowns that you're doing for it. The poly count is a little high, but maybe you're like really focusing on the details of it, so that could be okay. Dude, look at that. That's nice. Oh man. You guys are watching me slowly fall apart on stream. So I would grab this image and I'm going to paste it as soon as I fix my nose. Just put that up here. Paste. Oh yeah, this looks good. That's so sick. So press Control L and we'll just look at the range here. So you don't have too much in your light range. So you might want to bring that forward and just maybe bring the contrast. So you can see it's a little less washed out. It's very subtle. Very, very subtle. Let's bring that into here. And while this looks really cool, you might, depending on what you're looking for, of course, you might get more clicks focusing on a single element of it. Like this is also really intriguing because it really shows the detail versus like how much room you have left to work with, right, in a thumbnail. It also, like when you put it next to your other thumbnails, it's important to know what that looks like next to the other one. Right? So maybe it's like, okay, how does it look to this? What's this look like? Search here. Just kind of search around. Like that's even, that looks cool because you're seeing a lot of the shield as well. Something like that could be good. Now this one. Oh, dude. Hey, God. I'm dying, guys. I'm dying. Let's go to the next one because I need to see. So this scene is super empty. And I think it's okay because the focus is on this. Yeah, seeing that looks pretty cool. That looks really cool. Lots of detail, some storytelling, sticky notes. That's cool. I think when it comes to the... so you've got this shelf, right? I would just model some simple cardboard boxes or find some on a marketplace or whatever. It's totally fine. Music got louder. Did it? Is it okay now? Oh, that's weird. It did get louder. I must have somehow bumped it. Is it okay now? Yeah, good. All right, cool. Nice tune, though. Yeah, it's nice and chill. So anyways, if you take like these magazines and get some simple cardboard boxes, just stack it all over the shelves. Stack that stuff all over the place. Go crazy with it. I don't know, 40 boxes all over it. Magazines, all that stuff. You got some papers here. Put some papers around the bottom there. Maybe tip one of these shelves over and just dump a bunch of those props all over the ground. And just put that all in the background because there's some panic here. Something happened, right? And I want to see that even in the shadows. Like I see this here. There's some stuff there. More. Anyways, taking this shot, you could totally benefit from like I can see that you've got the text here and you got all this, but it feels really empty, right? And I think that gets solved when you turn into your shield. No. When you paste this in here and you start framing up this stuff, like look at that. You're like, oh man, what is that? I want to click that. What's going on there? Careful of that tangent. See how I have a tangent there? Watch out for those. Just bring this in maybe a little bit. That looks like I gotta click that. I have to know. See, and the thing is I'll click that, and then you have to have that room full of stuff, right? Because the intensity is here. If you've got shots like this with all this open space, even in the shadows, you just gotta go nuts. Go nuts with it. And definitely look at reference when it comes to these shelves. This is like some cheat codes for some thumbnails. You got to make sure that your shelves kind of make sense with, like, I don't know if I've seen it in this formation in a while. At least with the sides being thick like this. So just making sure you got reference to lock that in is going to be good. I mean, you could even copy this image and go here, right? And just kind of bring this in. Let's see here. Something like that could work. I really like that angle though. This is really intriguing because it's drawing your eye somewhere. That's the other thing in that angle that you had. This one, everything's pointing over here. Like you're like, oh dang, all that detail, but everything's drawing your eye this way. But yeah, let's check out this ring. This ring looks pretty awesome. Material wise, it's pretty solid. 2048's pretty hardcore. I'll say it. It's pretty hardcore. Oh, that's cool. Something about this material versus this one, just the way it's reacting. See that glint right there on the front face? Bam, right there. Let's see if we can grab that. Bam. Nope, I missed it. Oh, so close. There we go. I was delaying my grab more and more. Let's just dupe this up here. Grab this. We'll move that here. Boop. Boop. Maybe you want them to see that it's a ring? I don't know. I like the idea of not seeing it all. Like that looks pretty good to me. And then you, like, for the thumbnail, of course, you could render, you could Gaussian blur it. And then you could screen it. That's right, I'm doing this. And you could add a mask to it, invert the mask, and then just paint where you want that. Like that, and then go to the layer, kill it to 0, and then bring it up just enough to see it. So with that with that said, like this is where your portfolio is currently, right? So looking at this, hopefully this helps a little bit. Your thumbnail is super important when it comes to first glance of your portfolio, and I hope this helps answer those questions. Show a before and after. All right, hang on here. You don't need this logo either. I think it grabs the attention too much. Yeah, I think your stuff looks good, man. This scene is probably the weakest just because it's really empty. But it's weird because it's also strong in a lot of ways that this one's weak. That the console just being covered with those details, I love storytelling. So having that and filling this scene up more, that both scenes need to be propped more. But they don't need to be unique, interesting props. They could just be things that make sense being there. Boxes. You could go on the marketplace and find stuff, and it's totally okay as long as you mention it in your details and say, oh, yeah, I got these in the marketplace. Usually going for generic stuff. Usually going for the generic stuff, it's totally fine to grab, like I would buy a kit of plates and, what you'd fill your kitchen with. I don't want to model that stuff, but maybe I want to build a kitchen. You just add the plates in there. I'll dirty them up. I'll make them dirty. I'll put grungy stuff all over them. It's totally okay to get that stuff. Just make sure that you state it clearly. Even to the point where the description on the side is not enough. I'd put in the description, like say you buy Decagon stuff and it's part of your scene. At the very bottom, put the credit for Decagon and show the assets that you put in your scene that are Decagon. It won't hurt because people have already made a visual like a visual image of what you've created. And especially if you want to be an environment artist or a level artist, it's more important that they see how you're using the assets and building a scene and building story, and know that maybe the focal point, this console was built by you, and then some of the outside elements that aren't even really important, you just tried to fill them with stuff, and you were saving time, just like studios save time by outsourcing. Anyways, I'm going to get to the next portfolio. Hopefully that was useful. Thank you for submitting. I'll be right back.